In the previous video, I discussed the intuition behind elasticity. Now, elasticity is defined as the percentage change in something divided by the percentage change in something else. That is, we're interested in knowing how one variable changes when some other variable changes. So here's a case where we're going to look at the price elasticity and for the demanded good X. So the percentage change in the quantity demanded of X divided by the percentage change in the price of X gives us the elasticity. Now, over here I've got some numbers so that I could create a demand curve, and you can see that at a price of 11, nothing is demanded. At a price of 10, 2 units are demanded, so on and so on. And you can see that for every dollar decrease, there are two quantities more are demanded. So you can see that this is going to be a straight line. Now, when you studied algebra, you learned that a straight line meant a constant slope, and you can see that the slope here is constant. You can pick any 2 points and figure out the slope, and it's going to be the same. But elasticity actually changes along this curve. In fact, up here it's more elastic, down here it's inelastic, and at the midpoint it's unit elastic. Let's work this thing out. Let's start at a price of 10 and suppose the price falls to 9. Let's find the elasticity. So the elasticity is going to be equal to, and we'll use this epsilon for elasticity, it's going to be the percentage change in Q. Okay, the change in Q is 4 minus 2, and in order to have a percentage change, you have to divide by something. Now you could divide by the original number 2, or in this case we're going to use the midpoint between the 2 points. So here we're going to take 4 plus 2 and divide it by 2, so the halfway point. So this is going to be equal to 2 over 3. How about for the denominator? The percentage change in price is going to be 9 minus 10, and we're also going to take the midpoint. So this is going to be 9 plus 10 divided by 2. All right, and if you work that out, this is going to be negative 1 over 9.5, 9.5. Well, we can invert and multiply so that we know that the elasticity is going to be equal to 2/3 times negative 9.5 over 1. So let's see what we have here. Well, 9.5 times 2, okay, that would be a negative number actually, divided by 3 gives us minus 6.333. So negative 6.33. So you can see it's elastic here. It's elastic in this part up here, okay, between 9 and 10. So a small change in price, a small percentage change in price, leads to a big percentage change in quantity. And you can kind of see that, right? A change in price from 10 to 9 is a small percentage change. But a change from 2 to 4 is a doubling of it. That's a big percentage change. So in this case, you have a high elasticity. How about if we went down here between the prices of 3 and 2? Let's figure out the elasticity down here. The elasticity down here is going to be equal to, again, the change in quantity is going to be 18 minus 16 and divided by the midpoint, which is 18 plus 16 divided by 2. And if you work that out, that's going to be what? 2 over 17. And how about in the denominator? Here we're going to have 2 minus 3 divided by 2 plus 3 divided by 2. And that's going to be equal to minus 1 over 2.5. And again, to solve this, we can just invert and multiply, so we can have 2 over 17 times negative 2.5 over 1. So let's see what we get here. We take 2.5, I'll make that negative, times 2, and we want to divide it by 17. And so we get minus 0.2941. So here the elasticity in absolute value terms is less than 1, so it's inelastic in this part of the demand curve. So down here, and again, you can see going from 3 to 2 is a pretty big change in price, but going from 16 to 18 is a small percentage increase. So elasticity changes along this demand curve. And that's kind of confusing because down here you're inelastic, so a big change in price leads to a small change in quantity. Up here you are elastic, that is a big change in price leads to a small change, small change in price leads to a big change in quantity. But essentially that's how you calculate it. Percentage change is the change between, for the quantity demanded, is the change in these two numbers divided by the midpoint. So in this case, 4 minus 2 divided by 3, 2/3. And then the change in price is 9 minus 10 divided by the midpoint there, which is 9.5. And that gives you the elasticity at, or actually between these 2 points. And down here we calculated the elasticity between 3 and 2. And again, elastic up here, inelastic down here. In fact, let me write that down. So elastic, inelastic, and right here at the midpoint we have unit elasticity, or unit elastic. That is elasticity equal to 1. So the percentage change in X is going to be the same as the percentage change in, or the percentage change in the quantity is going to be the same as the percentage change in price.